All right, welcome back to another edition of the Eshlemania TV Vlogcast here on the Eshlemania TV YouTube channel. We're going to start this one out with some good news, some exciting news, at least for us. A couple episodes ago, you might remember we were talking about how I was looking around for a compact tractor, subcompact tractor, whatever you want to classify it as. We just wanted a tractor with a loader on the front, rear PTO, 3 point, uh, preferably, preferably four-wheel drive because two-wheel drive probably just wasn't going to cut it around here. So we've been searching, doing a lot of research. We've been out checking them out, in person and everything, where we could actually find them. And we had narrowed the selection down and went to a dealer. We were checking out the LS tractors, and they were supposed to have some in 2 weeks. We're looking at the LS 100 series, where it's like a 150, 155. I forget now the numbers of it, but that's what we were looking at, and we were ready to buy. They were supposed to be there in 2 weeks. 2 weeks came, and I called the dealer up and I said, "Hey, you got those tractors yet? You gonna have them anytime soon?" And they were talking like another 6 weeks or so. They were pushed out, and that wasn't even guaranteed. You know, 6 weeks could come and go, and they might not even have them then. So that kind of started the search all over again. But because we liked a lot of the stuff with the LS tractor, and we just happened to see that there were some Ford New Hollands, or I'm sorry, New Hollands. It's not really Ford New Holland anymore. Because there were some New Holland tractors sitting at a local dealer, we decided, hey, we didn't really look into them too much, but we thought, why not take a look at them now? And LS actually makes these tractors for New Holland. So we went and looked at one, and very comparable to the LS. It actually has a few features a little bit different from the LS tractor that we were looking at, and we're pretty happy with that. But then we got to looking at some of the stuff on social media, how many guys own these things, and the stuff they do with them, and they've had really no issues at all. And that's what you like to see when you're looking for something like this that is going to take a lot of abuse. It's going to be working hard, and you're going to be relying on it a lot. So we narrowed it down, and we ended up purchasing the New Holland Workmaster 25S subcompact tractor. Quite a few things we like about this. Number one was that the dealer actually had it in stock, so it didn't take long to get it then. 25 horse Yanmar diesel engine in there. Love that. One big difference I was saying, there's some differences between the 25S and the LS version of this tractor, and this was a big one, and I was really happy about this. The bucket, well, actually all the attachments on the loader, they all use the skid steer quick attach on the New Holland tractor. You didn't get that on the LS tractor until you jumped up to the 200 series, which was a couple $1,000s more and a bigger tractor. And honestly, that LS tractor, the 200 series, or even possibly the next step up from New Holland, would have been a really good choice for us as well, because you get double the lift capacity and some other features that would have made it worthwhile. But the big thing we would have lost out on is the maneuverability, and we got a lot of tight spaces we want to get into and a lot of stuff to navigate around. So it wasn't really worth it for us to go that extra, a couple $1,000 or whatever, to go to the next size up. So we stuck with the 25S, and we've been thrilled with it. We've been pushing a lot of dirt. We've been hauling a lot of dirt, lifting a lot of stuff, moving a lot of stuff. Everything we've attempted to do with it, it's been able to do it. And, one of the things that I wanted on the tractor was, of course, the bucket on the front. And we're going to need a set of pallet forks because we have a lot of skids to move around. But on the back, the 3-point hitch, the big attachment that I wanted there was a box scraper, because we do a lot of landscape stuff around here, and snow removal, that would come in handy. So I was looking for a box scraper, and started looking on Marketplace because I thought, well, I'll just look for a used one. It's probably going to be pretty cheap. Not a whole lot of really good deals on there, at least not anywhere near our area. I thought, well, okay, I know Tractor Supply sells them. And Tractor Supply wanted like $900 for a 5-foot county line box scraper. And King Cutter looked into them. Didn't really see anybody real close that had any of those available. So I ended up calling the dealership where we were getting the tractor from, and I said, "Hey, I didn't see anything when I was down here, but you don't by chance happen to have a 5 foot box scraper thrown in the back of this tractor, do you?" And the sales guy says, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I got a 5 footer here." Now keep in mind, like I said, the one at Tractor Supply was $900 for a 5 foot county line box scraper. I said, "Okay, what's the price on it?" And I'm figuring, okay, if the one at Tractor Supply is $900, they're probably gonna be asking like $1,200 for this one. He says $725. Sold. I okay, what's the catch? And I couldn't believe it when he delivered everything. It's got the adjustable teeth on the front. It's real strong built. It's a Titan brand, and I was amazed when we started to tear up some ground here. When we set that thing down on the ground and started to drive forward, how it was just ripping up the dirt, and then how it was ripping through the tree roots underneath there. I was really surprised just at the whole package between that box scraper not flexing and bending or anything like that, and the fact that the tractor had the power to do that. It was just everything we were looking for right there. We wanted to be able to tear up some land. We wanted to be able to move some land. We wanted to be able to do all this stuff, and we're beyond thrilled with it. So you're going to be seeing some videos with us doing some stuff here, showing you some things on our New Holland Workmaster 25S because we're excited about it. It's been a workhorse since it got here, and we can't say enough good things about it. So that's our big news around here, and that's our excitement. And we'll get into more stuff with the 25S from New Holland later on in some other videos. We'll show you a bunch of the stuff that we like about it, and show you this thing doing its thing and working and tearing up some ground and moving some dirt, moving some other stuff around. But there was a lot of brands out there, a lot of brands we were looking at. I talked to a lot of people. I got a lot of friends who are dealerships or work at dealerships that sell other brands and stuff. I talked to sales reps that I've known for years, that are associated with other brands or that might deal with one product or I'm sorry, with one brand of equipment that is at a dealership where they sell a certain type of compact tractor or subcompact tractor. So we were really scouring around to try to come up with what was going to suit us the best and what was actually out there and available. And if you remember me talking about it before, I said I just got to the point where new was the way to go because all of these older ones, 10 to 20 years old, they wanted the same price or essentially the same price as a brand new one. This Workmaster 25S from New Holland, it came with a 6-year warranty. 6-year warranty. And if I would have bought, say a used, I don't know, John Deere 755, a used Kubota, a used Mahindra, 5 years old, I'd be paying about the same price, no warranty. So it just made sense. So anyway, the other brands out there, all of these tractors, they all have their pros and their cons. None of them are absolutely 100% perfect. And for us, John Deere, we didn't want to deal with John Deere. Years ago, when I was a kid, this whole area around us, it was pretty much deer country. And over the past, I don't know, 15 years or so, deer country has really diversified. You see a lot of other stuff out there now. You really see a lot of orange out there now, which is surprising because it used to all be green. Now, when you see that orange out there, in the lawns and running around, it really sticks out to you. And when I say orange, maybe I'm talking Kubota, maybe I'm talking Husqvarna, maybe I'm talking Coyote or one of those brands, but it's orange. You see a lot of orange out there. Kubota is a big brand around here, especially when it comes to the subcompact tractors. Because let's face it, they are a big brand in subcompact tractors. Period, everywhere. Mahindra is another one who's a very big brand when it comes to the subcompacts, but I don't see them as much here in my immediate area. I know there's a lot of them out there. When you get out, another 45 minutes or so away from where we're at. But here in my immediate area, don't really see a whole lot of them. So Kubota, we'll go back to Kubota. I'm jumping around here, but Kubota, the big thing with them was the price. I thought they were a little expensive for what you get. I mean, I know they're built well. I know they have a very good reputation. Parts, I'm sure, are going to be readily available. But the price and the fact that the closest dealer was a little over an hour away, that just makes it kind of tough there. So we stayed away from the Kubotas. Mahindra, as I just mentioned, really, really looking at them. I was looking at them very hard. I was looking at used ones. I talked to the sales rep for the area, who's a friend of mine, and there was a couple of them on Marketplace that we tried to go look at that looked like they were going to be ridiculously good deals. And well, you know how it goes when you try to deal with anything on Marketplace. That's why I don't have a Mahindra sitting here right now. Um, but again, same thing. You're looking at tractors like 5 years old, and 500 hours on them, 400 hours on them, and pretty much the same price as a brand new unit. The other thing was with the Emax 20, which would be about the size that we were looking at, 20 horsepower compared to this New Holland here, which is 25 horsepower. So that made us shy away from it a little bit, because most of the other tractors in that class had more power. It wouldn't have been that big of a deal, I guess, but when you have the option to go with more power for the same money, why not? And again, just like Kubota, I think the closest Mahindra dealer was they were right about an hour away, I believe. So, same thing there. Just there was enough that we were looking into them. We really were. Just that's some of the reasons why we didn't go with that brand. John Deere. Like I said, we just didn't want to deal with John Deere. Coyote. Not a whole lot that I know about them, and I have some friends that sell them. People that I'm friends with that work at dealerships that sell them, and I asked a couple of them about them, and I asked some other people who I know deal with those dealers, and if they knew anything, and just didn't have enough there to appeal to me. So we didn't go with them. The LS, like I said, we were very close to buying an LS. If it would have been in stock, if there would have been there, we would have brought one home. But no availability. And even the LS, that dealer there was like 45 minutes away. But they're a good dealer, small operation, and very easy to deal with and get along with. So we were really drawn to that. I was looking. I mentioned before in the other vlogcast when I was talking about this. I was looking for some of those Cub Cadets. We looked at some of those that were used, that were up for sale, and they just intrigued me. And I didn't think that was a good idea. It was just kind of a novelty thing for me because of having all these other Cub Cadet tractors and stuff. But I don't even know where you buy one of them at anymore. But the Yanmars, which are who makes the Cub Cadet compact tractors. The Yanmars, that was another good choice there, but we just didn't have anybody nearby. We didn't have any way of even trying one of those out. So of course they were out. There were some off brands in there, that we just didn't hear enough about. We didn't know enough about. Nobody seemed to know anything about, and we stayed away from them. So yeah, here we are with a New Holland Workmaster 25S. We're happy that's the way it went. Everything's been working out so far. And like I said, we're going to get into that more in some other videos coming up. So stay tuned for that. Now, some other big news is that we've been seeing some of the power equipment that was being held up on back order, that we were being told just wouldn't be available for quite a while. Some of that is starting to show up again. Echo PB 9010 backpack leaf blowers. I've seen some of them coming in. PB 2620s. They were another thing that was on on back order for quite a while. The Echo TC210, they're out there. I've seen some of those go into dealers. Same thing with Husqvarna. We've been seeing some of their chainsaws and stuff show up. Now, it's been a bit of a trade-off because you see these products that weren't available, a month or two ago that were on back order. They're starting to show up, but now the other products that were readily available or seem to be readily available, they've slowed down, and some of those have just kind of disappeared and become very scarce. So it's just like I said a couple months ago that it would be. If you're looking for something and you see it, you think you might need it later on down the road, buy it now because it might not be there later on. Lawn tractors are a great example of this. If you're putting off buying a new lawn tractor, good luck now because there's not many out there. There's not many out there, period. Not just not many from one brand, but not many total. You can probably still find some Craftsman tractors around here, but look, if you got anything more than just a flat, tiny yard, you don't want to go with one of those Craftsman tractors. Same thing as the Troy built, basically, but there's just nothing to them. Not going to hold up very long. They are a price point tractor. Remember that. But if you desperately need something, you can find them out there here and there. So, the handheld stuff from some of these brands, that's starting to come in. So that's a good sign there. But, man, it is still a struggle for any of these places to find help. Dealerships are struggling to find help. The manufacturers, they're struggling to find help. Truck drivers, that's a struggle to get the truck drivers to be able to get the products delivered from the manufacturer to the dealer and all that stuff. So we're still seeing quite the ripple effect, but that's some good news there as we head into fall that some of these chainsaws, some of these leaf blowers, that stuff's starting to show up because we were afraid there wouldn't be anything. It just didn't look like there would be. When Echo sends out a full size 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper with this long list on there, saying about these are the products that you can't even order right now. We're not taking orders from them. We're not accepting orders from them. Just pretend they don't exist because they don't exist right now. We have no way of manufacturing them. That's pretty scary stuff. And then when you start hearing from some of these sales reps that they're being told that some of the products that you're looking for wouldn't even be available until 2023. That's another whole year away, but that's how backed up some of these manufacturers are getting, and that's what they're looking at. That's just the way they're planning because they have to think rationally here. It's a really crazy and bizarre situation, and it's pretty sad that it came to this. But we're stuck in it now, and we've got to deal with it, and we've got to be prepared for the seasons coming up. We got fall. We're going to need leaf blowers, chainsaws. That's a big time there. Snow blowers for the winter time. Honestly, don't be surprised if you don't see a bunch of other stuff, winter related that is hard to come by. That is very scarce. I'm still hearing stories about there being a shortage of boots. Some people I was talking to said that they tried to order some hiking boots, and apparently there's a shortage of boots yet. Who knew? So that's another thing you could run into. Winter boots, snow boots, that kind of stuff might not be out there. Pellets for pellet stoves, other types of heating sources and supplies, salt. That's something that every now and then you run into shortages of that. We had that last year. That's definitely a possibility again this year for sure. Heck, I say about salt. I mean, heck, we're having issues getting bird seed. There's bird seed out there, some, not as much as there was 2 years ago. Not as many variations of it, I should say. And some of the stuff that's out there went way up in price because of a few of the ingredients in it, and it's unbelievable now, the price of some of this bird seed. So if it can happen with that, obviously it can happen with salt, it can happen with ice melt, it can happen with all that stuff. So it's something you really got to take into consideration and plan ahead. You don't want to be caught when winter rolls around without any supplies that you need. Now, on top of all those things I just mentioned that are, shortages because of the ripple effect from everything related to the COVID shutdowns of 2020. We've got new stuff coming on now in 2021 that's causing even more issues and problems and adding to that snowball that we got just running out of control down the mountain from last year. And one of the things is the wildfires out there in California that are going on right now. You know, you might say, "Oh, well, you know what? I'm on the other side of the country." Well, so are we. We're out here in Pennsylvania, and the air quality was terrible yesterday. A little bit better today, but we're getting the effects of that smoke coming from those wildfires all the way out here in Pennsylvania. Um, think about the anything that's manufactured out there in California that might have to be shut down, due to the air quality, just due to evacuating people. Any businesses that are nearby. Um, think of the way that they transport some of these goods through California, from California. You know, trains aren't going to be able to go through those areas. Cars aren't going to be able to go through those areas. They probably don't want too many planes flying overhead. Um, it's going to cause a lot of issues that we don't even think about because we're just so used to everything just happening so freely and automatically. And after last year, we should be paying a lot more attention to this kind of stuff because now we know how it can just keep trickling down, it can keep spidering out, and it can affect a lot of things that we would have never imagined or thought of. All right, so let's move into something a little bit more positive here. Talking about everything from 2020 and what's going on now in 2021. One big thing that we got going on right now is the movie theaters are opening back up. And we got the debate over the Black Widow movie, whether you pay the $30 and you watch it at home or wherever on your Disney Plus subscription, or you go to the movie theater and you watch it. And another movie that's out right now that a lot of people talk about is the new Fast and the Furious movie. We plan on seeing both of those. We're just not quite sure how or when we're going to watch the Black Widow movie. If we're going to pay the $30 and watch it at home, or we're just going to wait till it's free on the Disney Plus network. Um, Fast and the Furious, we plan on seeing it as well. But I would love to hear from you guys about either of those two movies. As far as the Black Widow movie, what do you prefer? You want to watch it at home, pay the $30, watch it at home. If you got kids, I mean, that's a no-brainer right there to me. If you got kids and you're gonna be able to watch it at home for $30 at your leisure, you're gonna be able to have your own snacks. You're not gonna have to pay for the overpriced stuff at the movie theaters, as far as the drinks and the popcorn and nachos and all that stuff. How can you go wrong there? That's a win-win right there. Now, if you don't have kids or anything, it's just you, maybe just you and your spouse or whatever, you and a couple buddies, then yeah, it's probably worth it to go to the movie theater. The whole experience and stuff. But love to hear what you guys think about that whole situation, how that's playing out. If you think that's the way things should go, if you prefer that to have that option to just watch everything at home rather than going to the movie theater, or if you think that hey, that's going to just lead to more business being lost because movie theaters are just going to go away because there's not enough people going to them anymore. Uh, then on top of that, like I said, we got the Fast and the Furious movie, the new one. Love to hear your feedback on that entire franchise, on the evolution of where they've come from since the first movie till now. Would love to hear what you guys have to say about that or what you think about it. Um, comments here on this video link, or send us an email at Eshlemania TV at gmail.com. We love hearing this stuff from you guys to see what your thoughts are on it and get the feedback from you guys on it. So those two movies right there specifically, there's the two big ones right now out of all the ones that are out there. There's going to be some more coming out here soon, but those are the main ones that are catching all the attention right now. So they're the ones we're going to focus on. Well, as we're coming down the last stretch here on this vlogcast, we'll stay on the topic of entertainment. And I've mentioned before, I'm not a big TV watcher. I'll, put something on every once in a while in the background when I'm working out in the garage late at night just to help keep me awake. Most of the time, though, I'm listening to the radio, or I should say, listen to my phone. listen to 98 Rock out of Baltimore through the app on my phone. But anyway, as far as entertainment, something I stumbled upon is the A&E channel. They have these biographies on there about professional wrestlers, and I had heard about some of these, and I heard about the one with the Macho Man Randy Savage and all the controversy because a bunch of the people who were involved in that documentary, who were telling stories on that documentary, after they saw the documentary, they were wishing that they had nothing to do with it, that they were pretty upset about it. So I ended up watching that one, but the one I started out with was The Ultimate Warrior. When you're a kid, like I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and that was the guy right there, just 100% energy all the time. And, it's crazy how he died and everything, so young and all that stuff. So I watched that one. That was pretty amazing, his whole story. Of course, then I had to watch the one about Roddy Piper because he was an awesome guy. I got to meet him, and it was just so cool being around that guy. This was like a year or two before he passed away, and just the nicest guy, so down to earth and nice to everybody. A couple times that he was in town here, at these different places for signings, and he was on a pretty tight schedule because he had to get him to so many different places, and he would just stand there and keep signing stuff, keep talking to stuff, and just say, "Yep, I'm not leaving until I'm done with everybody in the line." And it was amazing. The guy was awesome. So that was a cool one to watch. If you're into professional wrestling at all, which I'm not at all anymore, but those guys there, when you're growing up as a kid, you couldn't help but notice these guys, and they have quite a few of them on there. I saw there was one for Bret the Hitman Hart, Mick Foley. There's of course the Ultimate Warrior, the Macho Man, Roddy Piper. There's some about some of the more modern guys like Shawn Michaels and that stuff, but the older guys, those are the really cool ones to me. And I've just got my fingers crossed, and I'm hoping that before long, maybe they'll come out with one about the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, because as I get older, that's my guy there. Love listening to some good old Dusty Rhodes interviews and promos, and just listen to that guy talk. It cracks me up. At the same time, the guy was a hell of a motivator, but he also was cool to me because he wasn't the typical professional wrestler, as far as the look, as far as the talk, all of it. He was out there in a league of his own, and he broke down some doors and broke the mold. And yeah, I could listen to him do interviews all night long. Just listen to his mispronunciation of words and all that stuff. I love it. So another good thing that we watched. This was our thing, every Thursday night. The missus and I, we would catch up on the series Loki on the Disney Plus channel. We'd sit down and watch an episode of it every week, and now it's over. All, what was it, like 6 episodes are available on there. So if you're into the Marvel stuff, if you're into the superhero stuff, if you're into the comic stuff, if you're into sci-fi type stuff, that's a good one to check out, especially if you got the Disney Channel. Really awesome series. Funny, dramatic. It has a little bit of everything in it, and it's just really well done. So those are my tips there for entertainment. If you're looking for something to watch, if you're bored, if you want to put something on in the background, that's some pretty cool stuff there to check out. That's going to do it for this episode here. We're going to cut this one kind of short, instead of dragging it on and me just keep going and going and going. We'll save some for the next time around, right? So, as always, appreciate you listening. We appreciate your support. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to this channel and make sure to leave us some feedback. Comment, like this video, shoot us an email, eshlemaniatv@gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys. So, all right, that's it. I'm out. Till next time. See you then.